very fine voice indeed of Rhydian. Remember Rhydian? Because probably the first time we heard the name Rhydian Ryan was back in 2007 when the young Welsh baritone, remember him with the big shock of white hair? Well, he appeared on X Factor. As it happened, Rhydian didn't win the competition, but he did come second, and indeed his career to date has by far outshone the winner that year, who was Leon Jackson. Well, earlier this week I had a chance to talk to Rhydian, who is now a double platinum selling artist. He's just released his 5th album. It's called One Day Like This, taken of course from the hugely successful single by Elbow.
Drinking in the morning sun, blinking in the morning sun, shaking off everyone, yeah, heavy like a loaded gun. What made me behave that way? I never said. I can only think it must be love. Oh, anyway, it's looking like a beautiful day.
Rhydian, welcome to BBC Radio Ulster.
Thanks so much.
What a great album. Your voice just continues to get better and better. Do you feel you're singing better now than 5 years ago?
Yeah, I definitely feel that. A lot can happen with a voice in 5 to 6 years, and I've been working very hard with my coach, and hopefully I've expressed the improvement in my voice on this album. I've definitely chosen songs that need a certain amount of vocal technique. I'm glad you like it.
I really, really do like it. I love your song choices from some of the classics to some of the more popular ones. Like, I mean to say, One Day Like This, I think your voice is just made for that Elbow song.
Well, bless you, man. I mean, I wanted to include a whole different variety of songs because I often say that the phrase classical crossover, a lot of singers shy away from it. And Sarah Brightman famously said that she hates that description. But I, to the contrary, I love it. It describes exactly who I am as a singer. So it was important for me to not just record standard classical songs like Nessun Dorma and Ave Maria, for example, but to also include more contemporary songs such as the Elbow you mentioned, One Day Like This, and The Blower's Daughter, Damien Rice,
yes,
and Nights in White Satin, obviously a Moody Blues number. So I'm very cautious with the songs I choose because I don't want to murder a genre, you know. But a song like One Day Like This is anthemic in nature, and it was famously sung at the Olympics.
Yes.
And it's also very symphonic. If you listen to the orchestration, it's a no-brainer, really, for a classical crossover type song.
As is your version of Nights in White Satin. You've given it so much gravitas by singing it in Italian. It sounds as if it's straight out of a Verdi opera, the way you sing it.
Understated as usual. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty dramatic, you know. I want this album to be powerful but beautiful. Dramatic, yes, but it's still got to move an audience. And yeah, I think it was the obvious thing to change the language into Italian. It's far sexier, I think, and it's far more in keeping with who I am as a performer. And I studied Italian at music college, and I obviously want to make a difference. I've really gone all out with this album to make it a serious release, you know.
Notte di luce, una notte infinita, una lettera che non sarà mai spedita. Cos'è la realtà? Io non lo so più. Ad occhi aperti il mio sogno sei tu. Io ti amo. Sì, ti amo. Quando ti amo.
Life, Rhydian, it's been good to you since your appearance on X Factor.
Life's been great, yeah. I mean, there are ups and downs inevitably. 7 years is a long time, and if you come out of a show like that, it's difficult to maintain that kind of hype. But I was never under any illusions. I didn't expect to maintain, and neither did I want it, actually, being the center of attention. It's nice to experience it, so you know what big fame is all about, but you're unrealistic if you think you can sustain that after a reality show. So I then took it upon myself to start the building blocks, and make a firm foundation and do good work. And so I would like to think that over the past 7 years, I've done 5 good albums, especially this one. This is my best, this latest release. And I've performed in 4 or 5 great stage productions and musicals, and I've had my own TV show here in Wales. So I've done a bit of everything.
But you surprised me by saying that you're not really chasing the attention. When you're an X Factor, my goodness, we all thought that's all you were looking for was the attention.
Well, I think you have to be identifiable and have make sure you have a branding on that show so people know who you are. And you've got to remember too, it's a Saturday night, shiny floor surface, big entertainment show, and you can't be boring on a show like that.
Was your experience in X Factor overall, was it an enjoyable one or one that had to be endured?
That's a great question. I think looking back, everything's better when you look back on it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I do look back with fond memories thinking, wow, 13 million people Saturday night, great opportunity working alongside Simon Cowell and all of this and meeting some great acts in the world of pop music. But you certainly have to endure it, and you have to grow a thick skin, without a doubt. And I think ignorance is bliss. So for a lot of the younger artists who were in the show, they were just happy to be on telly, singing their few songs that their friends have said they sing well in the shower. And I don't want to be too, and that's not the case for everybody, but a lot of the people that get through, they go to the auditions because their family has said, you sound like George Michael, go on there. But to be honest, it's hard for them after the X Factor's finished to sustain a career because you don't get the help and the protection post X Factor. But I went to music school and I trained and I studied, and I would have been doing this anyway. I'm not saying at a level which I've achieved, because certainly this show helped me get to this level, but I would have pursued a further degree and a vocational degree in performance and musical theatre perhaps, and always dreamt of being a recording artist.
You are classically trained, but it would appear that the complete classical line is not the one you want to go down. You don't want to be an opera singer. Am I right?
You're absolutely right, yeah. I made a decision when I was at music school, about the age of 20, 21, that I would prefer to go down the line of musical theatre if it was having to fuse acting with singing. And that's what I do now when I'm not recording albums or touring myself. The genre of opera I respect completely and utterly. I've always wanted to perform to a wider audience and bring these great songs to people's attention and move an audience. And so I made a decision not to go into opera. So with this new album, I said it would be amazing to get a classical #1 and hopefully a classical Brit Award. I'm speaking to you, and currently we're lying #1 in the charts, so it's quite exciting.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Rhydian, thanks so much for talking to me. We wish you well, and we hope that you have great success with the new album.
Thanks so much for talking to me.
Thanks, Rhydian.
Bye, man.
Bye. What a nice man. What a really nice man. And I have to tell you, the album, One Day Like This, it really is a lovely, lovely album. I've been playing it in the car all week, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. One Day Like This is called, and the gentleman is called Rhydian.